Okay, so this week, Disney just released the last trailer for Zootopia 2. So now we know what the idea is. We're not seeing any more footage until the movie comes out. I thought I would come and give my thoughts on it. So first of all, I love the base idea they're going with here. When the first movie ended, I didn't know where they would go, but considering every single animal that we saw in Zootopia in the first movie were all mammals, it's really interesting now to see where are the reptiles, where are the birds, where are, well, I guess not the fish, because we have now seen that the fish are food here. So, but I mean, there's also amphibians and like insects, which I'm sure are probably food too, so I'm probably not gonna be holding out for that. But hey, Zootopia 3 could be all about birds. Or amphibians. So yeah, the idea we're gonna figure out what's going on with the reptiles, where they are, what's going on with them. That's a really interesting premise. Now, granted, hear me when I say this. It's a really cool idea. This is all gonna depend on how Disney, follows through on this. And lately, their follow through has been iffy. But we have started to see some changes from Disney that could lead towards a positive direction. Right now, Disney is absolutely in a slump. We all know this. But historically, every time they get out of their slump, you start noticing a few things. One of the main things is people in leadership start changing. And last year, it was really quiet and nobody really talked about it, but Jennifer Lee stepped down as CCO of Disney Feature Animation, and Jared Bush took her place. He was the co-director on Encanto and actually wrote the original Zootopia. It takes a few years for their leadership to really get going because the films that are in production take years to make, so you don't really start seeing their impact on the films until years later. But it's been roughly a year now, we should start seeing inklings of it. Especially since he's been here through the whole process of Zootopia 2 and was one of the writers for the first one, so he must care about this to a degree. So we'll see what this new leadership does, or if we can even see anything from this. Like I said, it takes years to be able to see this, so I'm cautiously optimistic there. Changes in leadership usually mean things are going to get better. Doesn't always mean that, but usually it does. And second of all, so far, all the trailers do look interesting. I do think it's a little odd that they're harping on how many problems Nick and Judy seem to have with each other, especially because canonically within the film, it looks like they haven't been working together that long. To my understanding, I could be misinterpreting the trailers here, but it looks like they've only been working together for like a month canonically from their big case to now. And they're really gonna have to sell me on that idea, because even when they weren't friends working together on this case, they really complemented each other very well and seemed to get along with each other. So how can things go this far awry so quickly? Especially when I'm really struggling to see what the problems are between the two. Now granted, I haven't seen the movie yet. They could come up with this amazing plot that makes all the sense in the world and I will shut my mouth, but until I see it, I am skeptical. But there are some things that do get me excited. I love hearing Patrick Warburton as this horse mayor.
1, 2. I got up to 2.
Get it? A mare is a mare, even though he's not actually a mare. Isn't a mare like a female horse? Yeah, he's definitely not that. But, you know, the pun is there. I'm sure they're gonna make that pun somewhere. It's gonna say like, oh look, the mare is a mare. Hey, I'm not a mare, but I am the mare. There could be something like that. I don't know. This new snake character does look really cool. I'm a little sad that they already gave away the whole everybody thinks the snake is bad, but the snake isn't actually bad. Like, they gave that away in trailer 1. But that's me assuming that was supposed to be the big plot twist of the movie, and it probably isn't. It looks like Gary is saying that, like, the first time they meet. I'm assuming the first time they meet is, like, at this gala thing we saw it a lot in this trailer. So if he's already saying that the first time they meet, I guess it's not really a big twist. Kind of like how the first movie made it look like the big twist was, you know, that Mayor Lionheart was all behind it, but really, he didn't know what was going on. He was just trying to protect the city in less than legal ways. But I don't know, I feel like his heart was kind of in the right place ish. Okay, no, I see the problems now. In this one trailer, they kept hinting at this big hooded figure, so who knows who that is? I just really hope that it's not Bellwether. I'm scared they're gonna pull this to where you get to the end of it and she's like, I needed my revenge on you from the last movie, and so I now turned everyone against the reptiles. I hope they don't do that. I want this to be like an original villain. I want this to be an original story without having to go back to Bellwether, because she did fine for the first movie. I don't think she's a good enough villain we want her back. Maybe they could pull a Marmalade with her from like Bad Guys 2, where you have like a scene where you have to go talk to her about something like in the jail and you see her for just like 5 minutes and then that's it. That would be fine. I'm cool with that, but don't make her like the big twist villain. I'd be very upset if she was like the big twist villain. So don't do that, Disney, please. But other than that, the new reptiles look interesting. I think we saw a little bit of like a tortoise shell for a second. We saw a basilisk lizard, one of the lizards you don't hear about super often, so that was fun. I do hope we get like some crocodiles and like alligators, anything in that family. But I'm also open for maybe like Komodo dragons or something. There's a whole world of reptiles that could be so much fun to dive into, so I am excited for that aspect. Also, the marine mammal area does look really interesting and kind of funny too, so okay. There's a lot of things that do get me excited for this, but there's also a few warning flags, at least from the last couple years, so I'm not going in expecting the world, but I'm just hoping at this point for a decent sequel that was better than Moana 2. I didn't think Moana 2 was terrible or horrible, but it was a big step down from the first one. I'd rather this not be a big step down from the first one. If I can have my way, I want this to be more like Inside Out 2, where in my personal opinion, they were very similar in quality. I still think the first one was better, but not by a wide margin. And I was extremely happy with Inside Out 2, so I really hope Zootopia 2 can do the same. But we shall see. In my opinion, I do think Disney feature animation has gotten better since Strange World. I think every year we're getting progressively better and better. Not by wide margins, but I do think we're getting better, and I feel it in my bones. I think really soon we're close to a new, like, age of awesome Disney movies again. Like, this happens with Disney all the time. They have like a decade where they're on top, another decade where they're kinda and then they always come back. It's like a cycle that's happened even during Walt's day. And if we're going by the dates here, and if I'm looking at all the signs right, there's a good chance we should start getting some better content very soon. But that's all just me making inferences from the past, so anything can happen. So I'm cautiously optimistic for this, keeping my eye out on the things that look a little iffy, but excited for some of the new looks. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!